So, hi, Danny.
Hello. Hello,
How are
Joe.
you?
Oh, I'm
How are...
fabulous.
Yes, it's our first time meeting, isn't it?
It is, yes.
It's only been emails or Instagram.
Emails or Instagram. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, so my name is Joe. At this stage, I'm sure everybody knows what my name is, but people will be sick and tired of looking at me. So, which is fine because today I am with you, Danny. Danny, I like to say, you know how I say it, Danny Foley. Every time, every
Very
time.
pretentious. Just like
Yes,
plug the
Danny
pretentious
Foley.
artist. Where's my
Yes.
cravat, darling?
Last year's special edition Good Day News issue with the graffiti theater. That's
Hmm.
how I fell in love with your. I was like, what? And so that we, for the summer solstice issue, we ran a art competition for young people, and you won it. So the winning entry is featured in the summer solstice issue. We
Woo.
will we will not describe the painting. I will not be more pretentious and ask you painting related questions because that's like out of my out of my comfort zone.
No
So
problem.
the question is, do you remember the first drawing you ever did?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked me that question. I'm so glad you asked me that question. I have, to this very day, my dad, who's also a painter. He's an abstract oil painter. He in his studio when I'd say about I was about two. I stuck a pen, a ballpoint pen in my mouth. He tried to get me to draw all my life. I stuck a ballpoint pen in my mouth and I scribbled all over a piece of paper, and that was my very first drawing, and I still have it hung up uh, in our computer room. He tried so hard.
Insane. That is so beautiful. Wow.
So that was my first ever drawing. I didn't even do it with my hands.
And do you and what does your father say about that?
He's cursed. He's cursed. He has it. Oh no. He wanted.
So sweet.
Honest to God, he tried to give me a hurley. I used the wrong end of a hurley, so you just knew I was gonna be. Yeah, I'm one of them.
Oh, that's
There you
so
go.
sweet. That's so sweet. How has the last 6, 7 months been for you?
Um, well, since Christmas, I suppose since the whole Corona thing happened, really, I suppose I've been just trying to adapt, really, just trying to adapt to the situation itself. Kind of, I suppose my first impression was that, oh, I get all this free time to do all this art and all this, you know, can kind of get around to it. But at the same time, with all that time, you can't really just work and work and work, really. It's kind of trying to discover that I suppose that balance, and trying to kind of organize things in a way where I can get it can be productive, but I'm not burning myself out. So I suppose what I've been doing, I've been going into my dad's studio, setting up my own room in there, painting away, drawing away, I'm working on a little children's book at the moment. So that's, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I suppose if you imagine like a Tim Burton kind of, like, it's a bit eerie, like the style, it's not colored, it's all very ink washy. It's got an eerie kind of wintry kind of atmosphere. So it's not necessarily a happy, colorful children's book, but there's a few kind of like tense scenes in there. But I think the age group is very words
Broad.
very broad. Yes, thank you, Joe. Broad. um, it's a very broad age group. So I suppose you could like from 5 years old, literally, you could go up to like to 10 years old. It can be that kind of book, really.
Oh, that's
Because at the moment, I haven't gotten not many people have seen it. I post it on Instagram a lot, and a lot of people on my Instagram look at it, and
okay.
they like it. But I suppose I haven't had the opportunity to show it to any young children, especially now with the virus
Yeah.
going around. I can't really see people, but like,
Yeah. Yeah. In good time. In good
in
time.
good time, yeah.
Yeah. What new thing did you learn about yourself?
You know, as an artist, really, not everything's kind of a risk, and you kind of do need to adapt to your situation. So if you're not able to, if you don't have a studio, making your own little space to create your work, I suppose with everything going around in the world at the moment, there's just adapting to the your voice to everything around you, and kind of conveying it. So being able to adapt, I think, to everything happening is definitely a big one, and balance as well. Being able to kind of balance the workload, not just because you are given a lot of time, and that time in itself is kind of hard to deal with, because there's this great expectation, like, oh, I have all this time, I have to create all this work, like. But no, really, you do need to, you know, you're still a human. You need to be able to balance and, you know, tip away, not neglecting anything. So nothing in excess. So I suppose balancing a healthy kind of lifestyle in order to better your art, not just working and working and working, you know. So balance and adapting, two things I've kind of learned through it.
That's wonderful. And may you always remember that forever and ever, because some of us much older folks with way more spins around the sun yet to figure that part out, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
So thank you for saying that. And my wish for you is that you may remember that forever and ever.
Thank you so much.
And have your friends given any other insights? Have they shared what they've realized, you know, with all this me time they thought they might be having?
I get to, it's very varied. Some people, well, myself included, absolutely love it. You know, some people look at it as, you know, naturally, if someone's very introverted, or someone who feels they need to isolate in order to do the things. Well, for me anyway, I suppose, like, if you're interested in art, I suppose, like, it is naturally a very something you have to do alone, and it's something you kind of but you enjoy it, usually. But it is, but then there is that thought at the back of your mind, like, oh, I need to socialize, I should meet people, oh, I'm just sitting here alone. But, like, you know, having, you know, when you're being forced to isolate, you know, it kind of, you know, it's a bit reassuring. Of course, some people are very bored. You know, I know I have a lot of friends in music at the moment. And, you know, for the music industry, like my friends now, gigs are a big thing. Like, they can't get gigs, you know, they can't get, you know, all the pubs are closed. So it's very difficult, you know, like, you see, it's a double-edged sword, really. You get some people who are, it's a double-edged sword, because while you can't necessarily present your art or the things you've made, you have a lot of time to really make things, but not be able to kind of present it. By the way, that's a shout out to Rasputin's Boots. My friend Sean Jury, Jake, Daniel Briner, and James Barber. Thank you very much. Okay. So yeah, you know, to those lads, you know, and other people in bands, you know, it's very difficult not being able to have those things to look forward to, the gigs, and or for artists, for, you know, exhibitioning your work or selling your work. So the making of work is really I suppose, the positive, but then the negative aspect of that is really presenting it. And I suppose, you know, if you want to make money off it, or if you want to, you know, socialize and get into that kind of the world of it again, it's difficult, you know. So it's varied.
Yeah, I hear you. It's very hard to figure out which way to go now. And so from my side, I would like to wish all your friends the very best of luck, and, you know, have loads of patience, and just hang in there. It'll all get better, and to just, you know, unleash your creativity. Maybe together you guys will figure out a solution. I'm sure
Absolutely.
you will. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's all good in the hood. It'll be fine.
Absolutely. I'd
Yeah,
also like to thank Graffiti. I wouldn't have
yeah,
found you. I wouldn't have found Good Day News without Graffiti Youth Theatre and Activate Youth Theatre.
yeah. Huge shout out to graffiti, isn't
Huge
it?
shout out to
My
Graffiti.
God,
Absolutely.
I love that space. I just love
Mm.
it. And now this is a great way to go into this question of why do you think people should read the Good Day News magazine?
You know, I think it's amazing to have a local magazine, a local Cork, especially in Cork as well, and in it's great to like. I look at all of your articles, and you know, great support for the arts, and especially for positivity, especially in a time where I think connection and showing positivity is kind of something we're all missing at the moment. And I think the magazine provides that greatly. I think it's very
Oh,
good.
oh, you're so sweet. Thank you for saying that.
No
Yeah.
problem.
What are
That's
you
fine.
going to do now between now and September? What are your plans?
I'm working on my portfolio for art college as well. That's another thing I'm doing.
Oh,
So yeah, all
wonderful.
different things to look forward to. Yeah, you know, we'll see what happens. Just take
Yeah.
every day as it comes.
Yeah. If you had to describe your art in one or two words, how would you describe them?
Not finished. In no way is my art ready. You know, I think like at the moment, I really am just trying to experiment, and you know, I can't define my style yet. I'm too young. I'm too young and ill experienced.
May you
Um,
always be this way, so then you always have curiosity and wonder, and
absolutely.
it'll take you places.
No,
Oh,
absolutely. Still
oh,
discovering.
Danny. Oh, darling, this is so, so good to talk to you.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Yes,
Sorry if
yes.
my words were all over the place. I'm absolutely.
I am no better. It's all grand, as we say. It's all grand. It's
It's all good,
fine.
man. It's all
Yes.
good.
Okay. So yeah, I'll see you around. I'm sure I
See you
will.
around. Thank you
And
so much.
thank you for, making time to chat and coming out of your studio and doing your thing and being you. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Bye.
And a good day to you. Goodbye.